National Football League. And up next is Jamel Dean. He got a chance to rest and heal up last week on the bye. It's the Bears and the Vikings, and it's all up next on EA Sports.
They say summer is the time to live in Chicago, and that's extended into autumn as we are ready to roll under blue skies at Soldier Field. Today we've got a matchup here in pivotal Week 7 between the Minnesota Vikings and the Chicago Bears. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and Charles, you look at this Bears team entering play. They come into this one 0-6 on the year, and really it's sort of just been one thing after another.
Coupled with they don't start very fast. The first quarter's really been an issue for them. They've got to learn to get out of the gates quicker in order to try and win some games.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Vikings, they're off to a terrific start, unbeaten at 5-0 through the first month and change.
And you can hang a lot of this early success on their defense, too. They're the tone setters for these guys, and the entire team feeds off of what they do.
Getting toward the halfway point of the NFL season, Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line. So here's the Viking offense making their way out. And they're led out by their mobile quarterback out of West Virginia. It's Geno Smith.
And coming off of an early season open week. And in this situation, what he told us when we sat down with him was he spent a lot of time working on fundamentals, kind of getting back to basics during that time, as opposed to having to worry about healing up or resting up. It was too early in the season. Get back to the basics, get his game going again.
Here we go, Jack.
Off of play action, here's Smith. Man open, that's Anthony Schwartz. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. First carry for Raheem Mostert. And he's got it across midfield and into Bear territory. The last run got 9. That leaves him with 2nd and a yard. They'll fake it. Now Smith. Open man, that's Noah Fant, the tight end. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. It's a gain of 34.
Well, things are looking pretty darn good on this first drive, aren't they? Came right out, set the tone, this time with a big pass play.
And if the peek behind the curtain that they gave us or their game plan, I don't think that's going to be the last one we see.
I think you're exactly right about that.
So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now here's a little touch pass as they tap it quickly to their receiver. Now whistles and a timeout. Looks like we've got a Viking slow to get up. The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside. Keep in mind they can still get a first down here as they come up on 2nd and inches. A run with Mostert up the middle. And he will take this one into the end zone for a Viking touchdown. Raheem Mostert with his 4th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Vikings get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon. Justin Tucker for the extra point. He hasn't missed an extra point all season, and he won't miss this one either, and it's 7-0. So the drive there, 5 plays, 80 yards. And it was capped off by a touchdown run from Raheem Mostert. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. So here now the Bears offense for their first drive of the game. They will be led out by the former quarterback of the Vikings. Drafted him back in 2014, and now he goes against him. It's Teddy Bridgewater. They'll try the option, left side. He's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7, past the 30 to the 32. They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. From the gun, Bridgewater. To the sideline, and that's well done. Able to drag the feet. He's going to have the first down. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive. We'll see what kind of mindset they have here offensively after giving up the touchdown on the opening drive.
And based on our time with them, prior to this game, I feel like they've got a good mindset going.
O'Connell clearly unhappy with that call, and he's thrown that red challenge flag out on the field.
The previous play is under review.
Did he keep those feet in bounds? That's the question they've got to decide. And I got to say, watching it in real time, it was awfully close.
Yeah, it certainly looked like a heck of a catch because he didn't appear to bobble it, which could complicate things. But even with the benefit of replay, that's pretty tight.
Now here's the call.
After review of the play, ruling on the field.
So not successful there on the challenge, and he'll have to be careful from here on out because he'll only have 1 challenge remaining. First down, Bridgewater. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football, and the Vikings pick up the football. And he'll take this back down inside the 20. The pocket collapsed around him. I know we talk about it a lot, but a QB has to have that 6th sense, doesn't he?
He really does, and I know of one team at one point was training their quarterback with that time frame, and anytime he didn't get rid of the ball within the right amount of time, they would blow a horn or blow a whistle to show him this is what that time is, just what you're talking about, training him to understand this is the amount you have, make sure the ball's gone. Didn't happen in this case.
On 1st and 10, it's Mostert. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. It's a good gain of 11. Sets him up 1st and goal. He's settling in nicely here in the first quarter running the football. Remember, he already has the touchdown run.
And you can feel the vibe, can't you? He's in unison with his offensive front. They are in concert together. So if you're flipping over to the other side of the line of scrimmage, they've got to be more physical and handle some of these gaps that have been created.
Here we go, here we go.
Here's Mostert. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Raheem Mostert with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year. And the Vikings are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Some good running there at the end of the drive. He had the burst that set up the 1st and goal, and then 1 play later, he's in the end zone.
Brandon, what I liked about that sequence is I'm not sure who made the play call, but they understood the situation, understood the momentum. A nice hard-charging run, give it right back to him, and let him cap things off.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Chicago works their way back onto the field here for their 2nd drive of the game. They've been outplayed early, no question. Down 14-0 already as they come up 1st and 10. Now ETN to start the drive. And he is going to lose yardage here. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Part of their struggles last week was getting these negative plays on 1st and 2nd down. That's something they have to be wary of as this game continues.
The opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Out of the gun, Bridgewater. It's caught by Mike Evans. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Here's Bridgewater. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. The pressure from multiple guys there as they bury him for a big 9-yard loss.
Well, that's a big defensive stop there, and it takes away a lot of the momentum from the offense coming off that big completion the prior snap. Give big credit to the defense for bouncing back.
Downfield throw tip, but he still got it. And he gets us to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. 27 yards there, a 1st down.
Sometimes those tip balls turn out to be like a pinball, just bounce all over the place. Everyone's got to go up and get it. In this case,
well, we talk about tip drills for defensive players like you, but what about the offensive guy? Now some disagreement down on that sideline. The red flag is out, and we're going to get a challenge.
The previous play is under review.
Did he keep those feet in bounds? That's the question they've got to decide. And I got to say, watching it in real time, it was awfully close.
Yeah, it certainly looked like a heck of a catch because he didn't appear to bobble it, which could complicate things. But even with the benefit of replay, that's pretty tight.
Well, here's the call. So the challenge there unsuccessful, and that means that he'll be out of challenges from the remainder of this ball game. On the jet sweep, here comes Moore. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Well, as a wideout, when you take that handoff and you're coming around the edge, you're expecting to see nothing but empty space in front of you. But if not...
well, things can go south in a hurry, and that's exactly what we saw on that play with a loss. And he's got some space here. And he's going to get this all the way down to the Vikings' 9. It's a gain of 35. He had his eyes on the end zone once he hit the secondary, but they're finally able to slow him down.
Yeah, I've got to look at this one from the defensive point of view. You just mentioned finally able to slow him down. They've got to figure out a way to make that at the point of attack, at the line of scrimmage, because once he gets through, he's shredding them.
Forced out to his left, and the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. 2nd and goal from inside the 5. It's Penny running right. And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. Rashad Penny, his first touchdown on the year. And the Bears are back within a score. Extra point from McManus is good. And that'll make our score 14-7. So that drive takes him down the field in 8 plays. And it's finished off by a Rashad Penny touchdown run. This will be fielded inside the 5. And he's out of bounds on the return on what's going to be the final play of this first quarter. Through one quarter, 14-7 our score. The Vikings with the football here to begin the second quarter as they get set to start their drive with a 1st and 10. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And you figure this should be a healthy, arrested, a focused unit, and they're working on a good winning streak. They had the week off last week. This is really a team, Charles, that should be in top form.
I would agree absolutely with that. What coaches worry about, what organizations worry about, though, is overconfidence. They've been playing so well, and now they've had that extra time off. And we've seen teams come back off the open week and come out flat. So what a lot of good coaches do is they kind of game plan for that with their teams. On defense, they may blitz more in the beginning to get them going. On offense, they may go more up-tempo. Anything to get them out of that lethargy right at the beginning.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. That's the first catch of the game for Goodwin. It's a first down. Up the middle they go with Mostert. And he's got it across midfield and into Bear territory. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
So this, Charles, on paper at least, not the most even of matchups. Polar opposite, really. I mean, on one sideline, you got the hottest team in the league, still unbeaten, and on the other side, a winless squad.
And that's why I owe you, and I owe you big, because you did email me this week to remember any given Sunday. That was a phrase you typed to me, and that's what we have to remember in this ball game. It resounds when you think about it. Unbeaten versus winless, any given Sunday, anything can happen in this league.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Again, they'll run it with Mostert. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Now we're going to get a stoppage. Appears to be an injured Bear on the field.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
They'll try the air now with Smith. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Goodwin. And he gets it down a yard or two shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play. And now we've got a 3rd down and 3. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. Smith on 3rd down. And that is incomplete. It's a 4th down. Solid coverage by the Bears. Good coverage all over the field. They took away his intended read. He wasn't daring to try for his guy out of the backfield. No surprise on that one. It doesn't connect. They snap it to Smith. That throw taken in by Jamison Williams. And he is going to pick up the Vikings' first down as they manage to convert, and that'll keep the drive alive. The conversion is successful with a sizable gain of 13, and the decision to go for it looks like a smart one. Week 7 action, and we've got a 7-point game here in the 2nd quarter. And this offense hoping to change that right here. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. 53 yards rushing for him now with a couple of touchdown runs to boot.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
Throwing now is Gino. And it's caught. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. A gain of 7 that time. 2nd goal.
The defense was ready for the back to leak out and even had a second player waiting to double him up. If you're going to commit to doubling a back, you better prevent a completion, but give him credit. Extra determination, extra effort.
And he'll get in. He's over for the touchdown. Geno Smith scoring on the sneak from a yard out. And the Vikings go up by 2 touchdowns. Well, fans of old school football, they got to be loving this partner. All 3 drives so far have ended in a touchdown, and all 3 on the ground.
And when you say fans of old school football, count me in, because you just don't see ground games dominate the scoring by pounding the rock like this anymore. To me, this is refreshing.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. No run back here, down to a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. The Chicago offense set to get started.
So remember, Charles, last time they were out here, they scored, but they just saw the opposition score, and they're trailing right now, so they're trying to keep pace here. They need a touchdown drive.
Well, if you're a fan of offense, you're loving this, but if you're a fan of defense, this is tough to watch, and it's also tough to keep that up when you just watch your opponent march down the field on a scoring drive that lasts into double-digit snaps. You need a score here, not just to follow the momentum from your last drive, but put the onus back on your opponent. And that's what they're doing right now, swapping that onus back and forth.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Now Bridgewater. Toward the right sideline, but it's incomplete.
Well, he's smart enough to avoid the taunting rule, but I'll guarantee he quietly has told them, you might want to stop coming after me downfield because I just broke up another pass and took away a big shot that you were trying to succeed with.
On 3rd down, Bridgewater. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. The Vikings going to use their 3rd and final timeout. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward.
Blake Gillikin on to punt now on 4th down.
He punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. And taken right on the 30. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds.
A nice job getting free on the return for 13 yards. And it will be Vikings ball, 1st and 10. Speedster Raheem Mostert and the rest of this offense out to start the drive.
And he's well on his way to a 100-yard game. He's already more than halfway there. We're only in the 2nd quarter.
And what I've always loved about running backs is they'll tell you, I had no idea how many yards I had.
Right.
Those guys have an innate sense of where they are in a ball game and how many yards they've accumulated because you know they're always working towards 100.
He's been working well towards 100 here. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
Early on, the running game's been working well, and the offensive line has been pleased by that. The thought process there, catch those safeties creeping up, trying to help against the running game. They tried to hit them over the top, unsuccessfully.
And he'll take this one across the 45 up to about the 46-yard line. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Forcing completion on 1st down, and you're able to shut down the running play on 2nd.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in the expected passing situation.
This is the tight end fan. And I don't think he got there. No. Too short by maybe. Call it 4th and inches.
I thought they might take a shot down the field, but instead they ran a little drag route there. I think they were hoping he could catch it and run away from the defender. A really good job keeping the play in front of them, and they force a 4th down.
And he is going to pick up the Vikings 1st down as they manage to convert, and that'll keep the drive alive.
Here we go, here we go. Back 60. Ready.
After the run, Smith going to throw. He's airing it out for Williams. Touchdown, Vikings.
Jamison Williams.
In the final seconds of the first half.
And the Vikings will extend their lead here just before halftime.
And that's a lead that excites a team as they head into the half. Good way to finish things off.
Yeah, able to extend that lead, and you always say it, that can totally change the complexion of half number 2.
Yeah, it changes your morale, changes your outlook. But even before that, let's see if they decide to kind of squib kick or what they're going to do on the kickoff, because you don't want to give up a big play right before the half ends.
Good point. Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away.
And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive.
And with 10 seconds left, not really enough time to put something together. They'll indeed try to run it out as they start on the ground. And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. So we reach half. Well, we'll move right through the break then, skipping halftime and back to the field for the start of the second half. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. The Bears going to see the football first, and they trail here as we get back underway to start this second half. And no fireworks to start the half. This will be a touchback. So here's the Bears offense now as they get set to start this third quarter. And you have to think, Charles, down 3 scores already. They need to play an almost perfect second half to have a solid chance.
And that absolutely starts with finding some way to put together a touchdown drive here. They need to be smart, fast, efficient, get the ball into the end zone, and do it again multiple times in order to have a chance to win this game.
Just his second catch of the game so far. This one moves the chains. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Bridgewater now. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Chase Young in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. Bridgewater to throw it. Under pressure, they got him again. Taken down for the 5th time this game. Multiple defenders there to get him. So that time, Charles, quarterback helpless really in the pocket in the face of a pass rush like that. They were on him instantly.
Yeah, that's one where you turn to your lineman and say, guys, can I get a little help here? And you have to ask politely because, remember, they're blocking for you the entire game. But as a quarterback, you've also got to have the clock running in your head when you need to get rid of the football. But this time, he had no chance. They were on him instantly.
And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. A real letdown defensively. That was 3rd and a bundle, but they allow the conversion from Viking territory now. They'll come up 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. To throw, Bridgewater. And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield. And fortunately, he's able to reel it back in, but it's going to go down as a big loss here on the play. We talk a lot about setting the tone to start the game. Well, you want to start the tone right in the 3rd quarter as well, and nearly lost a football there in their first drive.
And sometimes we overdo it when we talk about halftime adjustments and what teams are going to do. Most of the time, it's just a matter of executing the game plan you brought in. But I'll guarantee you, they didn't draw that play up on the whiteboard at halftime. They're fortunate to retain possession.
And right side, they're going to go option here. And yet again, he stopped behind the line of scrimmage. Great job by this Vikings defense. Just a 1-yard loss that time, but that's not what they needed. Now they're dealing with a 3rd and long.
I see a shake of the head as he gets up, and you've got to imagine he's thinking, guys, you got to help me out. He's hoping his team can read his thoughts because he definitely needs some assistance.
Now he's hit, and Bridgewater loses the football. Offensively lucky they were able to keep the football, but now 4th down, so they'll have to boot it away.
I do think, though, they're going to look at this as a positive. 1, they recovered the fumble, so they retained possession. But 2, being able to punt it changes field position for them. Imagine if that turnover takes place there. Now your defense has to go onto the field and try and hold. Instead, they get a little breathing room.
It's the Vikings' turn on offense. We get ready for their first possession of the second half. Well, this offense, this team, they are rolling right now, Charles. They've scored on 3 straight possessions. You look at the scoreboard, and they pretty much right now got this thing on cruise control.
Yeah, and this is that time of game where you and I have to be prepared, right? Isn't this kind of like that empty the bucket time where you have to go into your blowout material and make sure we have some different things? That's what we're staring at right now, the way this one is going.
And some nifty running here as he'll take this across midfield and down to the 47. 72 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
And a strong run there as he'll take this all the way down to the 35.
12 more yards there and another first down.
Partner, if you want more carries, I think we saw how you get him. Showed that he's got the fresh legs, and he picked up the first down on that run. Don't just ask for him. Show him that you're supposed to get the football.
Under a minute to go in this third quarter as they come up 1st and 10. They run with Mostert off the option. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
When you're lateral to the line of scrimmage, linebackers keep those shoulders square so they can go up and down. But when it's time to go, turn your shoulders just like a running back. Get through the line.
And he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack. Now a tough spot for Geno Smith and company after the sack. It's 3rd and long. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now at Soldier Field. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Now we've got movement up front, and I think this is going to be on Minnesota. Well, this O-line's been great. They've got the big lead, so give them a pass there, I guess.
Yeah, I would think so, because if we were grading them on their performance in this game, a lot of pluses in their boxes so far.
So the false start certainly doesn't help matters as they'll try again now, 3rd and long. And this is caught at the 20. And he's going to be out of bounds all the way down at the 2. So close. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Well, normally you might say start running the football. You've got the lead here in the 4th quarter, but the way that they've passed it with such success, I don't know, maybe keep throwing it.
Yeah, I think you brought up something that goes against conventional wisdom, right? In this stage of the game, you would think you would switch to a running attack, but you're exactly right. They've thrown it so well throughout the game. And trusting this quarterback, I think you continue to do so.
Geno now to throw. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota.
Jamison Williams.
His 2nd touchdown of the afternoon.
And the Vikings add on to their lead, and it's looking like that win streak is going to extend another week.
The touchdown all set up by the big play one snap before, but they finish it off here with a shorter completion, this time for the score.
Now, I like how they stuck with what got them there, right? The big pass play, got the momentum going, right? That's you create it with a play like that, and you come right back with another pass play to finalize things off.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
The Bears offense out there set and ready to go. And you hate to see this for them, but they're looking at yet another loss to begin this season. Things really going from bad to worse as they trail here starting this drive 1st and 10 in the 4th quarter.
Bridgewater. Over the middle to Evans. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out there.
And down he goes. The pressure getting to Bridgewater. Aaron Donald. Who else? He's in there for his 4th sack of the afternoon.
Just not much a quarterback can do there, CD. The pressure was in his face almost instantaneously. Led to a very quick sack.
And pressure coming, and they got him once again. Aaron Donald. 2 plays in a row now that he has gotten in there for the sack, and it brings up 4th down.
Partner, my vocabulary isn't that great, but to me, there's only one word that fits this front 7 today, and that's dominant. 4 and 5 sacks is already rare in one game. Getting to more than 6 in one contest while winning by this many points, an absolutely astounding effort by every player involved.
Here comes the Bears punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Fair catch taken just inside the 40-yard line. A 40-yard punt, no return, and the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10.
Minnesota's offense takes over possession. Well, they don't really need the points here, Charles, given what we're looking at on the scoreboard, but they've scored on 3 consecutive possessions, 3 consecutive drives, and I'm sure that they would like to keep that streak going here and continuing to pour it on.
And things have gotten that way in the NFL, haven't they, partner? Because in the old days, people would, they'd get off the gas a little bit, right? But now, people continue to accelerate, but we'll see what they decide to do as they come out for this one. But the way that this game has gone, they've got to be awfully happy with their execution overall.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10. Now a play fake, and it's Smith. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Schwartz. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. He has a first down, and that catch will also put him over 100 yards receiving now on the afternoon.
Partner, I have to tell you, just one word keeps coming to mind from watching them this afternoon, and that's impressive. They have been impressive from the opening kickoff, and they haven't let up here even into the 4th quarter.
He'll rifle this one deep right side. And this is caught inside the 5. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota.
When coaches come into a game preaching total team effort, CD, I think this is the type of ball game that they're dreaming of. It was pretty apparent early on that they were clicking in all 3 phases. It's been fun to watch.
Yeah, sometimes in the NFL you end up with matchups like we've been watching here. And when you go back through the early drives, you can just see that one squad was on a different level in this game. Safe to say, we haven't been disappointed in watching their execution throughout this contest.
Now Tucker to add the PAT. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. Scoring summary, 3-play drive, and it all culminates in a touchdown for Minnesota. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Onto the field now come the Bears.
It's now appearing that this losing streak is going to continue. You know, the coaching staff was confident that this was going to be the game to stem the tide, but that just has not been the case.
On 1st and 10, Bridgewater. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
Well, it certainly appears to me that the defensive guys are starting to look a little bit tired while he still has some fresh legs. Not the biggest gain we've seen on a scramble, but still some positive yardage on a play that initially looked like a sure win for the defense.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Bridgewater. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down.
That time, multiple defenders getting pressure, and it's a loss of 6.
3rd and long now after the sack, and we'll see if Bridgewater has a response. They'll look to throw.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Tariq Woolen picks it, and the Vikings are going to take possession of the football.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. A
Up the middle, Nwangu. And they'll get him down right around the 16.
Big Christian Barmore was there on the tackle.
Some teams like to start aggressive to begin a drive, but this is still what you expect to see in normal situations. Just call a simple run, get a few yards to begin the series, and set yourself up for something bigger on second down.
Getting this out to the flat, Mostert.
And the Vikings are going to have a 1st and goal as he'll be taken down at the 7-yard line. Well, they have been unstoppable this afternoon, Charles. They just went after them from the start. And pass plays like we just saw, they're continuing their dominance here despite the big lead in the 4th quarter.
And that they have in every way. And plays like that across all phases of the game, they've just been effortless for them in this one. And that's what's helped them build such a large lead and allowed them to smile as this game continues.
Smith going to throw it. And give him another 6. It's caught for a touchdown, and the blowout continues.
Another touchdown here in the 4th quarter, and Charles, I think we can start to consider that this undefeated streak of theirs is going to be safe for another week.
And partner, you don't make it this far into a season without a loss unless you're getting contributions from both sides of the ball, and sometimes even your special teams, and that's been true today. Each side helping guide them to this late lead.
Tucker now to add the point after. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. So that drive, 4 plays.
And it was Jamison Williams wrapping things up with a touchdown.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. It's a squibber picked up around the 27.
Well, this game, it was well in hand early, never really in doubt. Charles, you and I do so many games together. There's so much parity in the NFL, a lot of close battles. This was not one. Tip your cap to them for a really impressive effort.
Yeah, and you know, as the game went on, I think the defense kind of got together and said, you see our guys on offense, they're just putting up point after point. We need to leave our mark somehow, too, and they did it, pitching a second-half shutout.
So for